years in office, he's making Iowa less safe.
That's the argument this attack ad makes against Iowa's Attorney General Tom Miller. Now, the Democrat is running against Republican Brenna Byrd. Her campaign is running that ad. And I-9 investigative reporter Ethan Stein fact-checked this advertisement for us and is joining us now with the findings.
Well, we found this ad centers on the case of Josie Smith. Then Joseph Smith was convicted of sex abuse charges. She transitioned to a woman while in prison. She was released in 2020, but then reoffended this year. The ad makes this claim.
Convicted child molester, allowed free by Tom Miller, because the man had a sex change.
This ad refers to a case from Buena Vista County. Then Joseph Smith was charged with multiple sexual abuse charges. For those charges, Smith made plea deals with the county attorney's office. As those sentences ran out, the Iowa Attorney General's office then stepped in. It asked a judge for a civil commitment of Smith, calling him a sexually violent predator and likely to reoffend. The Storm Lake Times said the doctor's evaluation of Smith was based on him having the testosterone levels and sex drive of a man. But the expert's opinion changed with Smith's sex change. Without that expert opinion, the Attorney General's office said it had to drop the committal request for a lack of evidence. Smith was released when his sentence was up from those plea agreements, not by Miller's choice and not because he had a sex change. This claim gets an F.
Miller claimed the predator was no longer a threat because he was no longer a man.
TV9 could not find anywhere in court records that Miller or prosecutors said anything like that. In fact, Miller's office said Smith was a risk to reoffend in its initial filing to have him committed. That's why this claim gets an F. So Smith was sentenced to 2 years in prison earlier this year for having child pornography on a mobile device. A parole officer found them. Smith is still a registered sex offender and will remain under some form of supervision for the rest of his life. We should note broadcasters like KCRG are required to air these ads from political candidates regardless of the contents of those ads.
But it's still important to fact check them.
That's why we do this.
All right. And Monday night, Iowa's candidates for governor will take the stage for their first and only debate. Republican Governor Kim Reynolds is facing off against Democratic challenger Deidre DeGier. The debate airs on PBS starting at 7 Monday night.